Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back everybody, let's take a look again on the Great British Pound. So today I think that we could replace the gold update with the Great British Pound, just because actually COMEX was closed yesterday, so you could see some price fluctuations on your retail brokers charts, but in fact this is just noise, so there's no real trading was yesterday. And speaking on the gold, I just would like to say only one thing, that as you know we have some patterns that suggest weakness in United States dollar in the nearest few sessions. So in particular speaking, the grabber on the dollar index that we actually have discussed already. And yesterday, or day before yesterday, this market, the dollar index has formed another one. So now we have two grabbers actually with the same target. That just confirms the overall tendency. And until these grabbers will be played out, I think that it would be better to stay aside from taking the short position, because it suggests weakness in the dollar. It's indirectly anyway will support gold. So once they will be played out, so after that, it makes sense to consider maybe a position taken. If you'd like to go short, just be aware of this pattern and control the overall situation. So speaking on the Great British Pound, now we have a great discussion in our forum concerning the patterns that actually looks very similar to euro currency, but still exist some differences. Since we're not quite often speaking about the cable recently, so last time we have considered it just a month ago. And I think that we could start from the monthly chart. Indeed, on the monthly chart, we have very similar pattern to the euro. And what is more attractive here is that actually it has completed the first major requirement for the bread and butter sell. Just to remind you what the bread and butter sell means, when the market has the great thrusting action in some direction, the first pullback is considered to take the position in the continuation of the major trend. So in the first pullback, we're taking the short position in current situation, suggesting that market should reach at least 618 support of the whole opposite action, an action against the thrust. Why this is happening? So actually this kind of trading style and this pattern exists before the Jod Napoli, is just called it bread and butter, just because it has really high chances on success. As it is formed on some physics of the market mechanics, so because it just based on the momentum. When you have momentum on the market, the first pullback, it usually leads to continuation due to the momentum, and that leads markets to the target. And that's why Jod Napoli called it as bread and butter. It has really great chance on success. But previously this trade, many traders called it just momentum trade. Even on the Wall Street, there was a rule of thumb on the classical technical analysis: buy or sell the first ABCD retracement after the thrust or collapse. This is approximately the same story. The only problem, or better to say, not the problem, the major task here for a trader is to correctly estimate where to take the position. Because based on the Jod Napoli rules, bread and butter trade starts when the market shows the completion above the 3x3 moving average, which is this green line here. We not have the close of November yet, but this market stance remains somewhere in this area. We will get it. And within the 3 sessions above the 3x3, market has to touch important fib level. Jod Napoli considers only 2 important levels: 3.8 and 6.8, 5.8. So 38 and 61. So 618, so better to say. But at the same time, bread and butter could start as from the first level and from the second. So there's no limitations. It might be more extended action. The market could reach within the 2 close or 3 close above 3x3, for instance, not 30% retracement, but 618 level. So it's also possible. Besides, take a look, this level has accompanied with our bot on the monthly chart. In our circumstances, we think that chances for that type of the brand bottom when the market will reach the 2760 is not very significant, at least in the near term. It's just because market is overbought on the weekly chart. So we take a look at the weekly chart, you could see that market is strongly overbought. Here's, by the way, guys, our market has completed our long-term first destination point is a butterfly. Anyway, that's why currently to expect that market will directly keep going to the 12760, well, it's not correct from the technical point of view. I don't know what the background will be, what the fundamentals will be. Of course, it could be situations when the market will just ignore the overbought oversold and just keep going. We saw it a few times when the big really shifts in the some rate policy from the central banks in a tough situation in the global politics, conflicts and so on. But we're just using the common approach. In the current situation, it is more probable that brand bottom starts somewhere near. And from that standpoint, I would consider a few levels. First of all, they stand on the daily chart. It makes no sense to drop time frame more here for analysis, just because we have the potential pattern on the monthly chart. And you can't use the hourly chart to take the position on the monthly chart. You need to consider some high standing patterns. And here I still think about 2420, 2450 area is a potential starting point. First of all, it's relatively close. So market until the end of November theoretically could complete this target, or somewhere in the beginning of the next month. So because actually market already has tested the minimum requirement fib level, so 1840 major level has been tested. Second is this relatively strong resistance, so at completion of the A, B, C, D, OP target, and take a look 2450, this is important fib level. So if we take a look at the overall downside swing, we have the top, and here's important level, another important reaction point, where it actually we're using for estimating this level. Actually on the weekly chart you could see it as this one retracement, and after that major action has started. So I think that this reaction point is very important, and it creates an agreement with this OP. That's why I think that more chance that to see and starting brand bottom somewhere around 2450 area. At the same time, we have initial ABCD pattern, but we can't rely on the OP just because it already has been passed. Market is moving higher, but XOP here tends to be too extended. It's 2750. It more agrees with the next level on the monthly chart. So 2750, and here's we have 2762. So that's, let's call it as some ultimate potential that if by some reasons market still will keep going higher, then the second level that we could consider is around major 618 resistance, which also will be agreement with the XOP target, and it's also will be accompanied with monthly overbought area. But first, let's pay attention to first 2450 area. While market is on the way to this target, and while the grabber on the dollar index is still valid, I think that it's makes no sense trying to take the short position too early. So we need just to wait and see when the dollar index grabber will be worked out, and probably supposedly that cable should be somewhere also around 24 area. Besides the third currency, actually, or better to say market, where you could see the same brand bottom setup, this is your cable and also on the dollar index. So if you prefer to trade the index, you could find the same brand bottom there. So once the grabber will be completed, market will close below 3x3 and so on. So that's what we have on the cable situation. Also stands interesting, and let's see how it will turn. It's not long to wait, so probably somewhere close to the end of the next week we should get some clarity on this setup.